In this video, we'll be going over why your cold outreach isn't working. Now, this is a question, this is a problem that many agency owners are plagued with. They see that cold outbound or cold outreach is a strategy that they can potentially use to get more clients, but shit, it's not working for them. They're not able to get any leads out of it, or they're not able to get any book calls out of it. I'm going to be sharing with you why that's the case. So with that being said, let's get started. Cold outreach is evergreen. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Sure, it may be now more of a numbers game, but if they say cold outbound is dead, then you gotta be on alert. It just means that it probably doesn't work for them. The guy who's preaching that advice, for him, it's not working. That's probably the case. Just because it doesn't work for them doesn't mean that it won't work for you. They say cold outbound doesn't work because number one, they got something else that they want to sell you. And number two, the method that they were using before didn't work for them. And because of that, they believe that cold outbound in general doesn't work for anybody, which is 100% false. Now, let's say you tried cold email for yourself, but it's not working, right? I used to be in that exact scenario, a while ago that is. Sent thousands of cold emails, but not a single positive reply or book meeting to show for it. Campaigns that look like this started looking like this, where I used to see no positive replies. I sent around 3,500 emails for one campaign, and I saw no positive replies, whereas after I figured out something, right, I was able to change that. I was getting more leads, and roughly for every 200 emails, I was able to get a positive reply, a lead. Right, all that changed. I was able to create this change after I did this. Right, after working with and analyzing multiple six-figure and seven-figure agencies, I came to this conclusion that there are a few evergreen mechanisms and strategies that have been tried and tested and are proven to work even to this day that enable you to book meetings consistently and predictably. As long as we can close these meetings at a reasonable ratio, we have a cash printing machine in our hands. If we can take the evergreen strategies and execute them with modern technology, we can generate attention, more sales calls, and cash in the bank as well. Now, that sounds simple enough, but how does that actually apply to, our cold email strategy now? So what do you actually need in order to ensure your cold email campaigns are successful? You may be like, so now all this whole part sounds good, but give me something that's actionable. You may be asking me questions like that, for which I do have an answer. Now, what do you need in order to ensure your cold email campaigns are successful? You need a solid testing strategy. It's the same way it is with ads. You need to test the offer, copy, and so on with multiple variants. Now, let me go over a testing strategy that you can use to ensure your cold email campaigns are running successfully. First of all, don't be insane, right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Albert Einstein said that. But yeah, if you know that your current setup, offer, and copy, that something with your current setup is not working, then don't expect to send 1,000 more emails and get 10 book cards out of it, 1,000 book cards out of it. I used to fall into the same old trap a long time ago. Just because something wasn't working, I used to falsely believe that if I could just send more outreach, I could possibly book a few calls, and a few weeks would pass by, and boom, I would have no calls calendar. That's basically insanity, like Albert Einstein described. Now, with that being said, how do you not practice insanity? Right? What are the metrics that you need to look out for? You need to look out for the overall positive reply rate. Overall reply rate first, and then the positive reply rate. And then you need to focus on analyzing the ratio of number of meetings booked against number of positive replies. Basically, meeting booking rate. The formula is number of meetings booked divided by number of positive replies into 100. That will give you a percentage value. And here are the average industry benchmarks for that, right? The overall reply rate is around 5%. The overall positive reply rate is around 0.5%. And the meeting booking rate is around 50% of positive replies. If your campaigns are seeing these rates, then you're running a successful campaign. If it's above these metrics, then great, But if it means below these metrics, if you're seeing, below these average industry benchmarks, then you gotta diagnose what's going wrong, and then fix it. If you're here, then probably you're seeing the second scenario, right? Where you're below the benchmarks. How do we fix those? How do we diagnose them? First, let's break down what makes or breaks a cold email campaign, right? Now, what makes or breaks a cold email campaign can be broken down into three key things. Number one, your offer or your copy is not resonating, right? The reason why your cold email campaign is not performing may be tied to one, two, or all of these three. Either your offer or copy is not resonating, your deliverability has gone down the drain, and your emails are going to spam, probably. That may be also happening. Number three, or your reply management processes suck and you're unable to convert much of your positive responses into actual book calls. That's probably why your cold email campaign is not performing at the level that you'd like it to be. Now, first let's talk about how do we fix your offer and copy. You go about fixing your offer and copy via testing multiple variants, right? Change up your offer, that is your value proposition, subject line, and then CTA, call to action, that is, and then see what sticks, right? What is yielding the most amount of positive replies? Do A and B tests, A to Z tests, whatever it takes, right? This is a trial and error process that you need to go through. I'll be covering a testing workflow that you can use to test your offer and copy later in this video, so don't worry, I'll do that as well. Now, let's go over text setup and deliverability, right? The fastest way to fix your deliverability. First, go into MX Toolbox and see if your domains are all set up properly with all the required records. MX, SPF, TKIM, DMARC, right? If you have an issue there, then fix that and then test your campaigns for a week or two and then come back and do the analysis. Or if it's still not working, then you could pause your campaigns for a bit and then let warm up alone happen for some time. Right? Don't run any cold outreach, just let it warm up once again for a week or two. But if that's not working as well, if all your records have been properly set up, the whole warm up phase is not working too, and you're marked in a lot of blacklists as well when you check MX Toolbox, then you need to just buy new domains and inboxes, right? And also have backup domains and inboxes in place as well. You need to purchase backups as well because you don't want to be in a situation where, let's say you bought, your target is 500 outreaches per day or 600 outreaches per day, and you bought X amount of domains and inboxes, right? You need 10 domains and 20 inboxes for 600 outreaches per day. Let's say you just bought that and that alone. Then that means that let's say your domains and inboxes burn out. Now, if you have just that, then you got to go back and then purchase new ones again and then wait for 14 days for warm up once again. You got to wait 14 more days. You'd have to stop outreach for 14 more days if you can get my point, right? That's basically what I'm trying to convey. What we're trying to do is we're trying to avoid that. We don't want to waste 14 days or 2 weeks, basically. That's why you need to purchase backup domains and inboxes in place as well at the same time. I'd personally say it's not worth tinkering with deliverability tools because in a lot of cases, they're more costly or they're more expensive than just buy new domains and inboxes, right? So that's what I would recommend. Just buy new domains and inboxes, man. It's affordable. Now, let's go over the reply management, right? Reply management processes. If you're getting a bunch of positive replies and leads, but you're unable to convert them, then you need to diagnose what the fuck is going on, right? You're probably unable to convert a lot of your positive responses into meetings because, number one, your speed to lead, right? How fast you deal with the reply, and also the reason why you're probably unable to convert a lot of your positive replies into meetings is because you don't have follow-up sequences in place. Right? Do you properly have follow-up sequences that are established in place to deal with replies that have replied positively, right? Prospects that have replied positively but haven't booked a call in with you, right? If the speed to lead is about 24 hours, if it takes more than 24 hours for you to get back to a person who has replied to you positively, and you don't have proper follow-up sequences in place, then that's probably the main reason why you're unable to book meetings. You need to fix that, right? So here's a testing workflow that I spoke about earlier, right? And when I was discussing about offer and copywriting, here, a testing workflow. Now I'm going to be going over the testing workflow here. Now, first, you need to have the system in place that can send out 500 to 1,000 emails per day without you landing in spam, right? Of course. Then you need to come up with 2 to 3 hyper-personalized variants that use personalized copy with high relevance, right? Personalization and relevance is key here. That's probably why your copy is not performing, because you probably don't have enough relevancy and personalization embedded in your emails. So you got to come up with 2 to 3 hyper-personalized variants at least first, right? I would recommend even 5. And then you prep a lead list of 1,500 to 2,000 contacts to test first. You run your sequence, get performance data, and then audit whether they are performing well. Whether they are above or around or below that average industry benchmarks, right? 0.5% overall positive reply rate, 5% to 4 to 5% overall total reply rate, and then 50% meeting booking rate. 40% is also acceptable, but yeah, it should be around or above those benchmarks. If that's the case, the answer to those questions are yes, then you continue running the sequences. Of course, if the answer is no, then you have to come up with new sequences, copy and positioning, and then you have to test with the new need list. That's what you need to do. So, with that being said, I hope this video was useful. If you want me to audit your cold email setup for free, I'll audit it for free and then give you some pointers. Then book a call below using the link in the video description. I will audit your cold email setup, see what's going wrong or what's going right, and how you can potentially improve it, And then, best case, you probably work with us to implement those changes. Or worst case, you just take them and implement it yourself, DIY, With that being said, I hope this video was useful once again, and I look forward to talking to you soon in another video. Thank you.